What is the importance of data? Actually, data science is an emerging as one of the hottest new professionals in the year of 21st in this 21st century. So it is very exciting to contemplate the emergence of major new discipline. So with the advent of the computer science in the 1960s and 70s, like our data scientists, computer science has its roots in a number of related areas, including math, engineering, and management. So any basic requirements are required for this data science. No matter what type of company if you go for, you are likely to going to be expected to know how to use these tools. So if you want to learn this data science, you should have a basic knowledge of math, probability, some linear algebra, and whatever database, like basic knowledge, SQL. So mainly in this data science, I can show you the curriculum. So this is our data science course content. So in this data science, we can cover revolutionize analytics, Python, and machine learning. Okay. First, in this data science, we can cover introduction of data science, importance of what is the importance of data science, and what is statistical and analytical methods, deploying the data scientists, what is BI, and how to transfer the data, and you will learn machine learning and introduction to recommended systems. So this is we will cover all these syllabus. So use the data science and data conversion, how to convert our data into useful information, how to collect the data and understanding the data and find the useful information and develop visualizations like plot boxes, whisker plots, histograms, like that. Okay, and set of rules, some simple probability and simple linear algebra, some basic mathematics, and we can develop some distributions. We are using the probability, t distribution, sample distribution, student t distribution, like sampling and tables and analysis. You can develop multivariate analysis, dependence and independent test, chi-square test, and acquiring the data. So how to develop this data science? Either you can use either in the R or Python, even though you can use SAS also. But nowadays, so many companies, most of the companies using either R or Python. That's why I'm telling you, no matter what type of company you are in, you are going to join, either you can learn data science with R or Python. But I can cover both data science, R and Python, as well as machine learning. See here, this is the machine learning concepts. So I can cover deploying the machine learning for data analysis, solving the business problems. So we are using some algorithms, formulas. So what are the formulas? What are the functions? What are the algorithms we have in our machine learning? We can use all these things. We are covering here theory part and how to practical, how to do the in real time. So all these machine learning, you can apply all these concepts either in the Python and R. But I can tell you both ways, how to develop this machine learning with Python and how to develop this machine learning in data. This is R programming. This is R package, R programming, R course content. So data science is a combination of machine learning, mathematics, statistical, and computer science. Okay. So these are the basics. This means a statistical programming language like R or Python and a database querying language like our SQL. So what is the use of data science? What is the use of data science? So data science is also known as data-driven science. Is an interdisciplinary field about the scientific methods, processes, and systems to extract the knowledge or insights from the data in various forms, either structured, unstructured, similar to data mining. So what is the importance of this data science? Why we go for this data science? First of all, what is the importance of data? So transactional data is increasingly, incredibly important for business because it helps them to expose the variability and optimize their operations. So by examining the large amounts of data, how to examine this? Nowadays, we are using big data, Hadoop, like that. So we will connect to even Hadoop also. So what are the big data we have in our Hadoop system? Actually, Hadoop having the large big databases, NoSQL databases. So we have so many NoSQL databases are there. Even though we can connect to that data and retrieve that, and we can analyze that data with the help of R or Python also, either Revolution Analytics or Python. So it is possible to uncover hidden patterns and correlations also. So what is the need of data analysis? Actually, R is an analytical tool. Python is an analytical tool. We have so many analytical tools are there. BI, business intelligence, some MicroStrategy, Tableau, ClickView, R and Python. So why we are using these R and Python, R, Python and SAS. These are statistical analytical tools. So based on these tools, we are analyze the data. So what is the need for data analysis? Which is known as analysis of data or data analytics. It is the process of inspecting, cleaning, or transforming and modern data with the goal of discovering useful information, suggesting conclusions, and supporting decision making. We are taking the decisions based upon our data. So that is the need of data analysis. Okay, so I can cover all these syllabus. Already you have this content, right? If not, I will send to you. I can cover all these course, this syllabus. Next. So what is data science? So what is data science? Data science is interdisciplinary field about the scientific methods, which is processes and system to extract the knowledge or insights from the data in various forms, either structured or unstructured or similar, like our data mining. So first of all, what is big data? What is big data? Do you have any idea big data? So why this data science is more importance in nowadays in our 21st century based upon our mobile technologies, right? So we have each and every day so much data is increased. Those are we can store in our big data sources. So what is big data? Big data is a large, huge amount of data, large or huge amount of data. So it contains three characteristics: variety, velocity, and volume. So generally, what is the volume of data in our regular databases? Do you have an idea? In regular databases, how much data you can store? Suppose in our normal databases, if you go to either Oracle or SQL Server, any version, or MySQL or some other database systems, Teradata, Redbrick, DB2DB. So these databases store up to 1 terabyte max. So what is the big data volume? One of the characteristics is volume. How much data you can store here? Almost 1 zettabyte. Almost 1 zettabyte. First of all, bit is either 0 or 1, right? Bit. What is the byte? Byte is 8 bits. What is KB? 1 KB is equal to 1024 bytes, right? So what is 1 MB? 1024 KB. So what is 1 GB? 1024 MB. What is 1 terabyte? 1024 gigabytes. What is 1 petabyte? 1024 terabytes. So next, 1 exabyte is equal to 1024 petabytes. 1 zettabyte is equal to 1024 exabytes. 1 exabyte is equal to 1024 zettabytes. Almost 10 to the power of 24 times data we store in our big data. So this is the huge amount of data we can store it. How to analyze that huge amount of data? That is the data science. So in this data science, what are the concepts we have? Based on that, either you can use the R or Python, even though you can use SAS, but most of the companies are using R or Python. Okay. Now, normal databases store max 1 terabyte of data. After that, you can increasingly adding the machines. But here in our big data, you can store up to 1 exabyte. That means how many times is greater than normal databases? 1024 into 1024 into 1024 into 1024 terabytes. So that is big data, right? These are the concepts. We have one of the characteristics in volume. Based on that, what are the data has been stored in their Hadoop databases? Either you can use Cassandra, MongoDB, or any other HBase. So you can connect to that and retrieve the data, and based upon our client requirement, you can analyze it. So in our either you can go applying machine learning concepts against those client requirement with the help of this data science concepts. Either you can use R or Python. Okay, see here. So this is our who is data scientist, and discover some information about the data science using the data science. So this is a combination of this data science, which is a combination of some mathematics, computer science, basic computer science, and data processing, machine learning, statistical research. These are the basic concepts you can use through data science. See, these are the 4 paradigm of science. In the thousands of years is an empirical, few hundreds of years theoretical, but last 50 years we are using computational or query the world. The last 20 years we are in e-science, e-commerce sites, website, some web designing sites. So many you are using e-science, e-commerce. Mainly we are using Amazon. So many e-commerce sites are we are using. Our Google search, Yahoo, Netflix. So many. These are data science. Download the world. These are the 4 paradigm of science. See, data science and others. So we have business intelligence, statistics, database management, visualization, machine learning, data mining, artificial intelligence, big data. So business intelligence in the earlier 1970s, we have only database. After that, they are converted to data warehousing in the 90s, 2000. At that time, business intelligence. So business intelligence is implemented in the 90 and 2000. After that, they are moving forward to big data. So nowadays we are using big data. So they based on that business intelligence. After that, we are using big data. Based on that, we are developing these data scientists. Okay. See here in the big data science task, we are in Facebook, Amazon, Google, LinkedIn, Netflix, Rosetta, Microsoft, and so on. Regular data science tasks, data analysis, what percentage of users back to your site, on which products usually brought together, modeling or statistics, how many cars we are going to sell the next year, which city is better for opening a new office. So we are in regular data science tasks. These are big data science tasks. These are regular data science tasks. Engineering and prototyping, product to use a prediction model. Visualization of analytics, human versus machine. See here, naturally can work with small amount of data and having knowledge about domain, good image recognition. Machines can make intensive computations, knows only number and digits. See here, these are the data science versus software professionals. See here, data science is the 60th job of the 21st century. See here, what are the salaries we will get? First of all, what are the basic statistics you want to learn here? Some at least basic understanding of statistics is vital as a data scientist. Okay. Next, machine learning. So is a large. If you are at a large company with huge amount of data, or working at a company where the product itself is specifically data driven. Okay. Next, we are using data mining and data visualizations and software engineering. So these are the requirement to learn this data scientist. So what do you do as a data scientist? More generally, a data scientist is someone who knows to exact meaning from the interpret data. So which requires both tools and methods from the statistics and machine learning, as well as being human. So spends a lot of time in the process of collecting, cleaning, and munging data, because data is never clean. So these are the roles we are doing as a data scientist. So what are the roles and responsibilities of this data scientist? Languages like R, Python, and SQL are part of the data analyst basic knowledge. And much like the data scientist role is a broad skill set, is also required for the data analyst role, which combines technical and as well as analytical knowledge. So what are the salaries we are getting here? Data scientist salaries are in the United States almost $1,13,436. This is the data scientist in United States average salary. Senior data scientist average salary in the United States. This data scientist, this senior data scientist. See here, BI developer, some 73,982. Senior BI developer, Java developer, and senior Java developer. Okay. So these are the salaries. So what is the salary in the data scientist in India? Actually, startup are paying average salary of 10.8 lakhs to a data scientist, almost 12.5% of higher than the average salaries. Okay, 12.5% of the higher than salaries paid by their large counterparts. The Indian companies are looking for a combination of analytics and big data skills, and they are willing to pay more combination. Okay, so is machine learning is separate and data science is separate? No, machine learning is a data statistics are part of the data science. So the word learning or machine learning means that the algorithms depend on the some data, use the training set, fine tune some data modeling for algorithm parameters. So this encompasses many techniques such as regression, Naive Bayes, Anand theorem, supervised clustering. So many things are there. So these are we can apply through data science. Either you can use in the R or Python. Okay. So suppose if you go to any data scientist, seeing as a big picture of complex system, after developing an understanding of the application domain, the data scientist must imagine how the data will move around among all of the relevant systems and people. So knowing how the data can be represented, the data science must have a clear understanding about how the data can be stored and linked, as well as about metadata. So data transformation and analysis. How to do this? When the data become available for the use of decision makers, the data scientist must know how to transform, how to summarize and make the inference from the data. Okay, and how to visualize these presentations. What are the data you have? After that, based upon our client requirement, you can convert that data as a visualization. So all the numbers of having the edge of precision and detail, a good data to display as a plot or histogram or pie charts like these bar charts. So you can develop this more effectively, which means to communicate results of the data users. What is the quality? No matter how the good as a set of data, maybe there is no such thing as a perfect data. Data scientists must know the limitations of the data they work with, know how the quality of its accuracy, and you can apply the suggestions for improving the quality of the data in the future. Okay, these are the main concepts to learn the data scientist. See here. So these are the plan. Why the data scientist? Why the data scientist is important? Why are you here? So what is the data science? Mashup of disciplines. And what is this course is about? Hopefully, right mix of theory and practical skills. So course requirements, syllabus, some grades, I can give some assignments. Okay. See here. These are the data scientists are in high demand. The Harvard Business or CNBC, you can go Forbes. Also in academics, eScience Institute, New York City, White House, to universities, we need more data scientists. So demand will outpace the supply. See pay scales up to 3 years. What is the data in other professionals? 4 to 8 years or 9+ years. So what is data science? In the new discipline, it is very little on non-textbooks. So which course covering the discipline as a whole, compare of software engineering or computer science during 70 to 80% of the last century. Data science is what data science scientists do. Already I said to you, what the data scientists do? Data scientist generally, a data scientist is someone who knows how to extract meaning from and interpret the data, which requires both tools and methods from a statistics and machine learning, as well as being a human. So in the you can spend a lot of time in the process of collecting, cleaning, and mining the data because the data never is clean. So why data science and data science are needed? So development of enabling technology, raising expectation from the customers. So what is the need of data scientist? Already I said to you just now. What is the need of data scientist? So data scientist is a big data wranglers. They are anonymous mass of messy data points, which you have unstructured and structured data. Structured and unstructured data we can process to our systems. Either you can use any big data tools or any tool. You can connect it and retrieve the data, and you can apply your machine learning or your statistical analysis. You can apply against them, and you can develop the visualizations. So these are the importance of data scientist. See here, declaring the cost of storage. Obviously, storage from the highway robbery or runway bargain. Obviously, we are getting the cheap. The data is increasing. In the early years, almost cost is increasing. If the data is increasing also, we'll get a cheaply we will get the exact requirement based upon our data scientist. Cost per translation. Cost is obviously decreasing. The data increases also. Surpassing brain, and more data can be stored and processed. Value of the big data in the retail domain, 49%, almost $9.6 billion. Consulting, 39%, almost $5.08 billion. Air transportation, 21%, $4.3 billion. Construction, 20%, $4.2 billion. Food products, 20%, $3.4 billion. Steel, 20%, $3.4 billion. Automobiles, 19%, $2.0 billion. Industrial instruments, 18%, $1.2 billion. Publishing, $0.8 billion. Telecommunications, 17%, $0.4 billion. This is the predictive increasing percent. Sales increases. Devices versus people. See here, growth of internet connected devices by 2020. Old population in billions. This is orange color. Internet connective device in billions, and internet connected devices per person in the 2003, in the 2005, 2010, 2015. In 2020, almost this internet connected device per person is increased in 2020. So that's why we will, the data scientist importance to do this analysis. Internet of things, people and places. From 1875 to from 2000 to 2025, things are some digital societies are sustainable world or personal mobile, global connectivity. There's so many things. Influence from the Internet of Things, we have gone beyond the decimal systems. Yottabytes, zettabytes, exabytes. See here, these are all zettabytes. We have yottabytes, huge amount of data, 10 to the power of 24 bytes. Say, cognitive computing. People expect system to behave like a humans. Be adaptive, that is learn as information and goal chain. Be interactive, interact easily with people and other systems. Be contextual, understanding meaning, exploit additional sources of information. So need to process large quantities of uncertain data in different types, either it is text, speech, sensor, or images. These are unstructured or structured, semi-structured data. See, cognitive computing. So people want to their systems or devices to behave smarter, either personal devices or industrial systems. So more data to acquire and analyze using more complex algorithms and technologies. So what are the complex algorithms we have in our machine learning? There are so many algorithms are there. Navier theorem, Bayes theorem, Henan theorem, some regressions. So many things we can apply these complex algorithms through either you can use R machine learning, R or Python. You can develop our visualizations. Here some examples. What is data science? Example, marketing. So predictive lifetime value. What is for? If you can predict the characteristics of high LTV, that is lifetime value customers, this support customer segmentation, identifies upsell opportunities and supports other marketing initiatives. What is the use? The usages can be both an online algorithm as well as a static report showing the characteristics of high lifetime value customers. In logistics, demand forecasting. How many of what thing you need and where will we need them? It enables lean inventory and prevents out of stock situations. Revenue impact supports growth and as well as mitigates against revenue leakage. Usage. What is the use of this? Online algorithm and static report. Because of our data scientist. Healthcare, in the healthcare domain, survival analysis, that is analyze the survival statistics for different patient attributes, either age or blood type or gender or some cancer. You can analyze this. And treatments, based on that we will give the treatment. Medication, dosage, effectiveness. So you analyze the effect of admitting different type and doses of medication for a disease. You can analyze it. Readmission risk, predict risks of readmittance based on patient attributes, medical history, diagnosis and treatment. You can analyze this in our healthcare domain. Example of wearable health and fitness, different type of wearables. Brain computer interface. See here, mashup of disciplines. This is math and theory. What are the mashup of disciplines? You can learn in our data science, math and theory, that is statistics, linear algebra, optimization, time series. And applied algorithms, machine learning, data structures, parallel algorithms. Engineering and technologies, storage and computation platforms, statistical tools. In domain expertise, you can use text or finance, images, econometrics, and so on. Or visualization and infographics. You can develop this. Either you can use R or Python. So I can cover both R and Python. But if you join any company, what are the client requirement? So suppose they want to use Python, you can easily survive. Suppose if they are using R, you can use it. That's why I can cover both R and Python in our data science. Almost innerly covers machine learning. So this is the mashup of disciplines. We can cover all these things, and I can give some assignments, and even though I can give some tasks, you can practice it. So this is the data science Venn diagram. Already I said to you, data science is a combination of computer science, math and statistics, and traditional research and machine learning. So these are the salary paychecks. As a data scientist, you will get almost 1,110,000, that is $11,000. As an analyst, $70,000. As a data engineer, $99,000. Data developer, $95,000. Other IT jobs, you will get only $61,000. So salary and different type of roles. Data scientist. About this course, see here, introductory course, but for advanced undergrad, brand of overview of subjects, focus on practical aspects. Okay. So this course is not to explain the Hadoop technical details. Only we will cover basics of Hadoop. What is big data? Why? What is the use of for our data science? Mainly you are using basic R programming. Okay. Next, some case studies we will cover. Prediction of the future movement in the stock market, and predicting insurance purchase, and direct marketing, housing valuations, marketing of oranges. Some I can use some case studies. Okay. Hello. So Satyajit and Siju Judge. Hello, Bhargav. Yeah. So these are the main things we will cover. So if you have any doubts, ask me, I can explain you. Mainly, if you want to learn this, I can show you. See here. This is completely as a data scientist. Either R or SAS is required. So we will cover R here. Python, machine learning, big data is an advantage. I can tell you what are the requirement to understand this data science. I can cover up to that concepts of Hadoop. Remaining things are common. See here. Domain specialization, career guidance. I can give you career guidance, some domain specifications. So I can cover data science covers help you to gain expertise in machine learning, R, and as well as Python. Okay, I can tell you the complete theoretical knowledge of machine learning. I can apply that theoretical knowledge as a you will get as a practical knowledge of in R and both R and Python. I can tell you both things. These machine learning concepts, what we have, I can cover both how to develop these machine learning functions, algorithms in R as well as Python also. See here, I can show you. Mainly, this is the machine learning data science. It is very, very important. So almost all companies are asking machine learning concepts. So you can apply all these machine learning and statistics are part of the data science. The word learning in machine learning means that the algorithms depend on some data. So use as a training set and fine tune some model or algorithm parameters. This encompasses many techniques such as regression. So you see here, data management analysis, working with large data in data warehouse, data clustering, group horizontal, vertical slicing, data sharding, partitioning, cluster algorithms, k-means. I can explain you completely. I can explain you that machine learning also. So for analysis and data mining, exclusively clustering and hierarchy, clustering, Manhattan clustering, probabilistic clustering, nearest neighbor search, pattern recognition, and statistical classification. So actually machine learning are of 4 types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, reinforcement of machine learning. Okay. So in regularly what are the concepts we are using? Either data analysis, something regular things we are develop as in our part of supervised learning. In our unsupervised learning, our completely big data, we are connecting to clustering. This part. K means neighbor search, pattern recognition, statistical classification, image recognition, or fraud identification. So maybe we can, even though if anybody copying our image, that is we can recognize which is copied or original based upon our machine learning. So these are the different type of concepts are there. This is completely theoretical part. We can cover here. Chi-square for accessing. See here. Observe here. Mainly deploying machine learning for the data analysis, solving the business problem. How to solve it? Based upon client requirement. You can solve these. See here. We have many concepts are there. See here. Supervised learning. Probably the most common problem type in machine learning. Starting with an example. See here. How do we predict housing prices? First, you can collect the data regarding housing prices and how they are related to size in feet. So housing price reduction. In our x-axis, we have a square feet in size. That's 500 square feet, 1000 square feet, 15,000 square feet, 1500, 2000, like that. And in y-axis, prices, $1,000, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $4,000, $400,000, like that. So based on that, what are the data you have? Based on that, you can apply in our visual. You can develop our visualization based upon our client requirements. See here, what is the problem here? We have an example problem. Given this data, a friend has a house 750 square feet. How much can they be expected to get? This is the problem. First, what approaches can we use to solve this? Straight line through the data, maybe $150,000. Second order polynomial, maybe $200,000. On this, we discuss later how to choose straight and curved line. So how to choose this? Because based on this concept, we can apply what is x-axis and y-axis. You can write the code either in the R or Python. Both are very similar, easy languages. But compared to Python and R, some R is a complex. If you compare to Python, R is a so many packages are there in the R, but in our Python less packages are there. I can compare both tools also here. Okay. See here, each of these approaches represent a way of doing supervised learning. So what is this mean? See here, we have the algorithm, a data set where the right answer was provided. So we know actual prices of houses. Now the idea is you can learn what makes the price a certain value from the training data. The algorithm should then produce more right answers based on new training data where we don't know the price already. Now this is the predict the price. So we also call this regression problem. Predict continuous valued output, that is price, no real discrete delineation. So these are the problems. Now how to develop this? Based on this problem, you can develop these visualizations in R or in the Python. So many examples. I can tell you each and everything. See here. One more example here. This is, can we define breast cancer as a malignant or benign based on the tumor size? Based on tumor size, you can develop this. So looking at the data and you can classify it and you can identify the problem. And you can, based on this problem, you can give the treatment. You means our doctors based upon our analysis. So what is the situation in this? How much, which stage on that particular patient? Based upon our analysis, they will treat them. You see here. So next concept is unsupervised learning. Unsupervised is second major problem type. That is, in unsupervised learning, we get unlabeled data. Just told, here is a data set, can you structure it? So we are connecting to clustering, mainly our big data problems. Our big data, what are the huge data we have? And we want to connect that Hadoop cluster or big data clusters. We are using unsupervised learning, unsupervised type of machine learning. This is clustering algorithm. This is genes and individuals. So many theorems, so many algorithms are there. So linear regression, square feet in size and prices in thousand. We are using this formula. So linear regression. So basic statistical knowledge and probability. I can tell you basic probability knowledge, and I can give the complete knowledge to you in linear algebra, vector calculation, matrices, and our statistics and probability. Basic knowledge I can give you. After that, we will discuss about these algorithms and apply these algorithms as a practically in our R or Python. Okay. So Satyajit, are you clear? Do you understand this machine learning, or can I tell you completely? So I can give you the complete knowledge in coming classes. Okay, deeper look, minimize, depression insight into the custom function, semi-supervised learning. So these are things you can learn the concept here and you can apply practically in the R or Python. Okay. This is machine learning. Next, if you want to know about R or Python also, I can tell you, but just little bit of knowledge. Yes, this is Python. See here. What is the use of Python? This is agenda. What is Python and difference between program and scripting language, history of Python, scope of Python, what do people use Python, how to install it, and who uses the Python today, and what can I do with Python, and a sample code. See here. Python is general purpose, is a programming language that is often applied in scripting roles. So Python is a programming language as well as scripting language. Python is also called interpreted language. See here. What is the difference between scripting and program? Program is executed. The source is first compiled. After that, the result of that compilation is expected. So in general, the program is a sequence of instructions written to that computer can perform certain tasks. What is scripting? Scripting is an interpreted. And a script is a code written in a scripting language. A scripting language is nothing but a type of programming in which we can write code control in another software application. See here, Python. So Python, no compiling or linking. In generally C, C++ Java, first we can compile the data, compile the program. After that, you can interpret the program. So we have two types, compiling and interpretation in Java, right? But in Python, there is no compilation. Automatically or machine compiling. When you type the scripting, automatically compiling, it display as an interpreted language. In generally in our Java or any other C++, first when you type the program set of instructions, that is converted to machine language when you compile it. After that, when you interpret it, that is displayed as a result. So first you can compile and after that interpret it. But in Python is no compiling, only interpreted language, no type of declaration, automatic memory management, high-level data types and operations, which is an object-oriented programming, embedding and extending like in C. We have classes, modules, exceptions, dynamic loading of C modules, dynamic loading of loading and reloading of C modules, rapid development, simpler and shorter, more flexible, garbage collection, fast development, code structure, reuse like our Java, C++, mixed language system, programming the large support, which is separate extensions to smaller binaries. Programs can be modified without stopping. See here. And also we have universal first class object model, fewer restrictions and rules, runtime program construction, handles unforeseen needs, end user coding, interactive and dynamic nature, access to the interpreter information, wide portability, compilation to portable to bytecode. That means no compilation, only it is interpreted language, built-in interfaces to the external services. Next, meta programming, introspective objects, cross-platform programming without ports, execute speed and protecting source code, systems use graphical user interfaces, persistence and database. You can connect to database and retrieve the data and apply the analytics. See here, uses of Python, shell tools like our system admin tools, command line program, extension language work, rapid prototyping and development, language based modules like instead of special purpose of parsers, GUI, database access, you can access the database, any type of database, even though Hadoop also, big data, you can connect it, distributed programming and internet scripting. So why was Python created? Actually, which is created in the earlier 90s, 89. At that time, same Java also released. But At that time, there is no data analyst data, there is no big data. That's why less number of people are used this Python. At that time, more number of people use Java. Right? They are using Java and develop the websites and connect it to the databases in that early 90s. And but why? What is the importance of Python in nowadays? Because of our big data Hadoop. So it is very easiest language compared to Java or any R also. So this is the importance of scope of Python. Science, you can use bioinformatics, system administration, Unix or WebLogic, WebSphere, web application development, Jython servlets, testing scripts. So why do the people use Python? Mainly the Python is object oriented, that is structure supports such as concepts as polymorphism, operation overloading, multi-inheritance. Indentation, that is one of the greatest feature in Python. It's free, it's an open source. You can easily download and develop this Python compared to other languages. See here, if you compare to Perl, easier to learn, more readable, fewer magical side effects, so more safety guarantee, better Java integration, less Unix bias. If you compare to TCL, already we have the Oracle, SQL, TCL, SQL Star, something. If you compare TCL, it's a real data types, object orientation, more differentiated syntax, and much faster. Okay, better Java integration. Python uses is de facto GUI standard. See here, what is the differences between R? Already, if you want to learn data science, either you can use R or Python and machine learning. So if you go to any company, you don't know, right? Either they are using R or Python. So many companies, almost 50 to 60% percent of companies are using R programming. Some of the companies using Python. So both are important in our data science. That's why I can tell you both Python and R. What are the machine learning language we have? That is applied. That concepts are applied in the R or Python. So you can use data science with R, data science with Python, using machine learning through our machine learning. Okay, see here, R programming and Python, Java. You can compare these languages. In R, it was stably released in 2014 only. Why? Because in that year only the Hadoop is released in the 2014. Hadoop, big data. Based on that, actually this R program is developed completely based upon Hadoop technology. We have many BI analytical tools are there. MicroStrategy, Tableau, ClickView, and so many tools in our R, which is completely belongs to our Hadoop related technology. Now after that, in 2014, remaining either you can go to Tableau or MicroStrategy also. They are connected to big data, and you can develop the analytics. The analytics means you can develop the visualizations, different type of visualizations. This is R is a revolution analytics programming, which is having the more number of packages. See here, in Python, it was stably released in 1996, Java 1995. There's more functions and packages. If you go to Python, less functions and less packages. If you go to Java, large number of inbuilt functions and packages. It is an interpreted based language. Python also is an interpreted based language. But in our Java, compile and interpreter, it contains both interpreter as well as compile. First you can compile the program, after that you can interpret it. At that time only you can see the result. But either you can go to R or Python. In background, automatically compiling happened. So when you type that script, automatically it is interpreted and display the result. I can show you. See here. This is Python GUI. So you can calculate simple calculations, simple math, simple vectors, linear algebra, matrices, you can easily. And as well as what are the machine learning, you have some more number of algorithms. Those algorithms also applied against this Python, and you can practically develop the visualizations. See here, suppose you can apply 2 plus 2 something. Here automatically display the 4 from 45 into 54. Automatically display the result. This is interpreted language. Same way you can use R also, but R contains more number of packages and functions. See here. Next 54 something multiplication into something. This is R language. Both are similar, but R contains more number of packages. Here it contains more functions and packages, but in a way, whereas in Python it has less functions and packages. In Java, inbuilt functions and packages. It is an interpreted language. Python is an interpreted, but Java both interpret and compilation. R is a statistical design and graphics programming language, but Python is a general purpose language. Java also general purpose programming language designed for web applications. R program, which is a simple complex compared to Python, difficult to learn and understand. Python easy to understand. Java is easy to learn and understand. This is a little bit complex is there in our R. Why? Because it contains a statistical programming. So R is mostly used for data analysis. So generic programming tasks such as design or software. Java is mostly used for design for window applications or web applications. So next, how to install, who uses the Python today? Python is being applied for real revenue generating products by real companies. Like Google makes like extensive use of Python in its website and employs Python's creator. Intel, Cisco, Hewlett, HP, Seagate, Qualcomm, IBM use Python for hardware testing. ESRI uses the Python as a okay. So the YouTube video sharing service is largely written in the Python. Okay, maybe some signals problem. I will. So now it is audible properly. Hello. Do you hear me voice? Okay, okay. So what can I do with Python? I can develop system programming, graphical user interface program, that is GUI visualizations, internet scripting, component integration, database programming, gamings, images, XML, robot, and more. This is Python. Next, I can give the small introduction of R also. Okay. See, these are R programming. History, I can cover the history, some introduction, R basic features, compare with other program, merits, demerits, and primary. See here, R is a programming language. It was an implementation over S language. Earlier, it was an implementation over S language. R was first designed by Ross Ihaka and Robert Gentleman at the University of Auckland in 1993. History and evaluation. S version 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the nowadays we are treated as a revolutionized analytics, or has developed from S language, developed 30 years ago for research and applied to the high-tech industries. See, in the 1990s, R developed concurrently with S. In 1993, R made public. The acceleration of R development, R help and R development mailing list, creation of the R core group. See here, popularity among the programming languages. R in the what programming language used for data mining or data analysis in the past 12 months? Almost in the 570 voters. First is R, 257, 45%. Next SQL. Third Python, 25%. Java, SAS, MATLAB, Unix. Even though our machine learning language, you can develop with either R, Python, as well as MATLAB also. But so many industries, so many companies are using first preference giving to the R. R is a programming language and a software environment for statistical computing and graphics, which is widely used among the statisticians and data miners for developing statistical software and data analysis. It is compiled and runs on a wide variety of Unix platforms or Windows and Mac OS, which can be downloaded to CRAN. See here. So what is R, which is widely used among the statisticians and data miners for developing the statistical software. So R is an open source, R code repository and R compile some core programming plus thousands of freely available add-on packages. R is a interpreted language, object-oriented and a programming language. So R is a tool for data manipulation, that is connecting to data sources, slices and dicing the data, modeling and computation, statistical modeling and numerical simulation, and data visualizations. So you can develop so many visualizations, bar charts, pie charts, histograms, SS, ANOVA, so many visualizations you can develop it, and composing statistical graphics. So why we go for R? The most extensive modeling resource in scientific research. The fine publishing quality graphs, and easy to develop your own model. So
Excuse me, Pradeep.
Hello?
You can hear me, Pradeep?
Yeah.
So Pradeep, just blocking you. Sorry for the delay. So my question is like, when you told about the visual views of the R. So how we are getting it? Is it you have a separate tool which has been integrated onto the R programming kit, or how it is?
Yeah. First, basically we will develop the R programming.
Okay.
Some you can connect to the either MapReduce or another big data database are there, NoSQL databases. Either you can connect it to Cassandra, MongoDB, HBase, or directly you can connect to Cluster also. Cluster means so many databases are connecting to with each other. So cluster contains so many data points.
Okay, so just to be clear, so what my understanding is that you are gonna develop your R programming first, and we are gonna integrate that R programming script which we have run, and we are gonna integrate that with the MapReduce or NoSQL or whichever database it is, and we are gonna get the view from those particular database.
Yeah. First of all, I can tell you one thing. First, basics, you don't want to connect any database, basic things.
Okay.
So when you want to analyze the huge amount of data which are available in the clusters or any other databases, either NoSQL databases or normal databases.
Sorry to interrupt you, Srinivas. So I was just thinking, if you can tell something with a real-time example, that would be really helpful to understand.
Yeah, sure. Suppose if you want to analyze any healthcare in the healthcare domain, now you want to analyze some disease versus age preference. Some age, we have some ages, areas in our data sets we have in our database.
Okay.
In that database, you can connect to a particular data table. Why? Because in our NoSQL database we have the table, nothing but one table contains at least 1 GB of data. One table.
Right.
Huge amount of data is stored in our databases, in NoSQL databases.
Right.
So many, almost, suppose if you take any simple table in our Oracle or any other data, max we have 1024 columns and almost thousands of rows, right? But whereas in our big data databases, millions of columns and billions of rows. One table contains collection of column families. Column family can collection of columns, different type of columns. So based upon that, we can connect to a particular row. Row is an identification number we have in our HBase or Cassandra or MongoDB. So already those administrators are retrieve the data and store in their databases. Now you want to analyze the data as per our client requirement. You can connect to that data. You can access that data and you can retrieve it. You can, when you connect to that, based upon client requirement, you can write the code here, either R or Python. You can write your own code based upon our requirement. So after that, when you enter it, automatically it retrieve the data and display the visualization.
Okay.
So at that time, what type of analysis have you applied? Either you want ANOVA or histogram or bar chart or plots. Based on that, you can write the x-axis levels, x-axis pixels, and y-axis, and like we can type these coding in your R. Okay. So based on that, they retrieve it, the data, and display as a visualization. That is the real-time scenarios. We will do that. So each and everything we can type the language in our R.
Okay.
Suppose if you go to any Tableau or MicroStrategy, Tableau is very easiest analytical tool. Just connect to that. When you drag and drop those column values or row values, within fraction of seconds, automatically display the visualization.
Okay.
But as a statistical developer or statistical scientist, statistical analyzer, you can use R. If you go to Bank of America or any large MNCs, so many insurance domains or banking domain, finance domains are using R. Credit card systems. So this is very useful language, learning R. So you can drag the pack based upon our programming. You can automatically, each and every package and functions are available in our net, in our CRAN. You can retrieve it based upon program. You can apply that packages and functions. You can develop your you can write your language, write your program. So when you already you are connected to our big data, right? Automatically, when you enter it after completion the program, automatically it's an interpreted language. Retrieve it and display the visualization. Very easy. Okay. I can show you how to do this, each and everything. First, I can explain the theoretical concept of this data science. After that, first, based upon your interest, either can I start Python or R. So based upon your interest, which is you want, either can I start Python or R? Based on that, I can start it. I can tell you the each and every basic concept also, either in the Python or R. Same in linear algebra, that is vector calculation and matrices calculation. After that, I can give you the complex analysis also. I can give the case studies also. Okay, you can develop your own way in your home. I can give you the case studies in the real-time scenarios. Okay.
Okay.
So why we will learn this? This is an open source, cross-platform, advanced statistical language, also outstanding graphs, flexible fun, and extremely comprehensive, vast community that supports extensions related to the other languages. This is growth versus sun plus water like this, you can write the powerful modeling syntax. So models are specific with the formulae like this. So what are these formulas already I have shown you in earlier my machine learning. We have so many formulas are there, right? Bayes theorem, that is neighborhood theorem, Bayes theorem, probabilism. These formulas also you can type here, either NAR or Python. These models are also you get the visualizations of relationship in a graphical form. So why or why not are most popular statistics software and some of their audiences. So SPSS, a social scientist, Stata, that is social scientist, mathematic or MATLAB, engineers or mathematicians, computer scientists and physicists, Python or NumPy, computer scientists and web developers, SAS, data intensive industries, Excel, all types of organizations. So R is more popular and used by the large number of analysis than each of these. We have so many popular statistics softwares are SPSS, Stata, Mathematica, or MATLAB, Python, SAS, but R is more popular and used by the large number of analysts than each of these. Number of users. See here, Java, Stata, Mathematica, C++, Excel, Python, SPSS, are having the number of users. But statistics users like point and click. R is a command line of oriented. There are GUI that can be loaded and add-on packages. So based on our program, if any package are required, you can download it and add it. After that, it will automatically execute the program. So R Studio is integrated development environment, but more for code development than statistical analysis. R is a open source, but this also means there is no formal support mechanism. Larger organizations often like a contract with commercial provider. These are the R packages. So R package is a collection of R functions with comprehensive documents, which includes R functions, that is help files, namespace, description, default installation is kept is minimum. The function of R could be extended by loading R packages. Command line advantages. So there has been a lot of talk lately about the replication, the necessary of having the results that are reproducible. In the world of big data, analysts want to produce systems that are transparent, reliable, and that maintain a chain of provenances for each transformation that affects the data. Okay, this is ID, RStudio and RGUI. Just now I have shown you RGUI. If you want, you can integrate RStudio, but you are using in our real-time environments RStudio. This is console. So what it contains, I can tell you completely what it doing. Each and every option. See here, getting the data. Where you can get the data? Where you can get the data from the Excel files, from databases, any type of database, either in the web or from the load some insurance, some objects. You are getting the data, any type of data, either web, from the web or you can load some data or any of the database or Excel files. See here, getting data out, how to send to others. You can send to the file, Excel files and databases and R. Why? Because R is integrated to Hadoop. What are the Hadoop you have? What are the data you have in Hadoop? That is smoothly you can transfer to R. What are the images have you developed, or what are the visualizations have you developed? Those visualizations also you can store in our Hadoop databases. Why? Because Hadoop is a big Hadoop having the three types of characteristics, right? Variety, velocity, and volume. Already said to volume is almost you can store 1 petabyte of data. Variety means we have three types of data you can store it. What type of? Either textual data or unstructured data or semi-structured data, structured data. Structure means so we can process some structurally. You can use the SQL language like our regular databases. So some columns, some rows which are intersect with each other, and you can store in this way only. That is also you can store only text, some data, but you cannot store unstructured and semi-structured. Unstructured means images, videos, audios, something. But semi-structured means Excel files. You cannot store XML files in our databases. Only you can store structural data. But our big data accept either is structured, semi-structured means XML files or any other files, charting data, and unstructured. Unstructured means videos, audios, seismographics, anything you can store it. So what are the data you have? You can analyze through R. After that, what are the images or visually have you developed? Those also you can store in the Hadoop. That's why you can retrieve the data from Hadoop. You can store the data to the Hadoop through R. That's why this is getting data to out to R objects also. It's an open source, integrating with other programming languages like C, C++, Fortran. And OS independence is either you can develop this R, either Unix or Linux, Windows, Mac OS, or FreeBSD, command line driven. So already I said to this merits. R is the most comprehensive statistical analysis package available. It incorporates all of the standard statistical tests, models, and analysis, as well as providing a comprehensive language for managing and manipulating the data. So which is an environment developed for statistical analysis by practicing statisticians and researchers. So what are the machine language we have? It is an artificial intelligence data. That type of formulas, algorithms, we can apply those functions and formulas and algorithms against the R, and you can develop your own way, own language. You can develop your own program based on that client requirement. You can connect to the data and develop the visualizations. Mainly these R or Python using for analysis. You can develop the visuals, or you can apply so many different type of analytics against that data. Okay, well, the graphical capabilities of R are outstanding, providing a fully programmable graphics language and that surpasses most other statistical and graphical packages. It's an open source. Almost contains 4,800 packages. It's a cross-platform. These are advantages. See here, R is free, but SAS or any other things you can buy that. Advantages of R. So these are the graphs. You can develop these visualizations. So demerit is R is slow compared to C. Limitations of memory, all the objects are in memory. R is hard to learn something. That means you can retrieve so many packages and functions, commands, functions, understand the logics of programming, and fluency in R requires creative energy. Okay. So these are the complete concepts of R, Python, machine learning. So combination of this machine learning, R, Python, and basic knowledge of mathematics and statistics is a data science. Okay. So if you have any doubts, ask me. I can explain you. Or further class also I can give you the clear point to pin and end-to-end task. I can give you each and every perfect picture about these data scientists. So based upon your choice, either can I start with Python or R. Okay. So any doubts? Hello.
Yeah, Pradeep, I'm totally new to R, especially Python. I have heard about it and I know some basic steps, but R is totally new. So unless or until you get deep into it, you will not be able to understand much.
Okay, I can explain you in later sessions.
Yeah,
each and everything.
Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Hello. So any doubts in any other persons? But in totally in one hour, in our 1.5 hour session, I can give you the overview of total data science. But if you have anything, any doubt in that particular regular sessions, I can explain you clearly. Why? Because it's a most vast subject, data scientist. You should know about SQL, you should know about basic concept of Hadoop and basics of Excel and at least basics of mathematics and stats. If you don't know anything, I can explain you each and everything at that time of concept. At that time, what are the concept I can explain you. At that time, if you don't understand any basics also, I can clearly explain you. Why? Because I have done my MSc Mathematics and MTech Computers. So I have the complete knowledge about this. Okay, whatever you want, either mathematically or statistically, or this one. So I know each and everything as a data scientist. Senior, I'm working as a senior data scientist. Okay, I can explain you clearly. Satyajit. So if you have any doubts, ask me, or next give the feedback to our Prakash. As early as possible, you can start the session. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Pradeep.